was wondering something. Do you guys like hoppers? Do you like hopper unit trains? Do you like specific road name unit trains? Do you like seeing foreign power on your layout? If you do, watch this video. I think you'll like it. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions video. I am Vinny, your host, also known as BNSF 6951. This is a model railroad channel. So if you guys are interested in run op sessions, scratch builds, live streams, prototypes, and everything related to model railroads, this is the channel for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there, hit the bell that's up there, and give me those too. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with the video, so come on in. Alright guys, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions video. For you guys that don't know, my two favorite rolling stocks are tankers and hoppers. I decided I was going to keep the almost flawless run op session going with number 3. And this is going to be a unit train, unit hopper train of KCS hoppers. I think there's 21 of them on there. I'm not 100% sure. And there'll be foreign power on the layout. There'll be a UP SD70 Ace. Anyhow, I love hoppers, I love tankers, and I thought I would love just to do this video and see how it turns out. So, with that being said, our train leaves Mobex Yard and continues up to Ash Fork. So let's watch the video. Alright, so now we catch our power leaving Mobex Yard engine facility. Up front we have a C44-9 number 703, followed by C44-9 number 725, and a UP SD70 Ace number 9041. We're going to make 2 moves in the yard here. And don't forget, I got a couple of bad turnouts at the end of the yard, so we may have some engine stalling. Tried to prevent that, and I did do some editing here. I didn't want to see all the bad stuff that was going on. Anyhow, we're going to pull forward, and Switchman is going to go ahead and turn the turnout for us, and we're going to back into first track and pick up 6 of these hoppers. I just happen to love hoppers and tankers, and I decided to do a unit train run on my layout with this KCS hoppers. There'll be 21 of these hoppers in tow, and we're going to go from Mobex Yard all the way up to Ash Fork. A little 050 help right there. Now this track has not been cleaned. I didn't want to clean it. That's one of my worst things in the hobby, is to keep the track clean. I do it every once in a while. I do have the CMX car, and I do run that around every once in a while. But as far as me actually rubbing it with my hands and a Bright Boy or alcohol, no, I have not done that in this area to date. Alright, we're going to back in now and pick up the rest of the hoppers. And we're going to back it up slowly, 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 and we have hookup. Again, I tried to do as much on one clip as possible. Again, we're going to be going across the bad turnouts. We have 1 Atlas curve and 5 Pico, supposedly number code 55, but they really aren't code 55. As you can see, the train keeps stalling on these turnouts, and one of these days I will have those turnouts replaced with some Bruce Giroux turnouts. Alright, now we're pretty much on the way. I don't think we have any more problems after those few that we just had. Entering room number 2, and now we're passing the lumber facilities, which I am considering to be Central Phoenix. And these were the facilities that were involved in number 2, almost flawless run op session, which should have been out last Saturday. You can see it's a pretty nice string of hoppers here. I love these hoppers. I wanted them since the day they came out. Some of them are mine, and some of them are Roy Hardwick's. He just left them here one day when he was here and told me to play with them, so that's what I am doing. I do show my throttle speeds here every once in a while to see how fast we're going. This train is not moving that fast. We are still kind of like in Central Phoenix right now, passing the passing the auto rack and the intermodal yards. There we go. We're at 7 on a speed step of 128. And it's running pretty good at that speed, I would think. Sorry for the sniffles, guys. But yeah, all of these cars, I think half of them are different numbers. As you can see, I just raised the speed up to 10. As we're starting to leave town, we can increase speed. And I hope you guys are counting those cars. I counted 21. And if I had more of those, they would be on there. Alright, now we're coming around the North Phoenix area. And that's where we'll be completing our op session at the end of this video in this area. So don't leave the video too soon, guys. Alright. So that's a pretty sight. I like seeing all those hoppers. Alright, now we're coming around to the last leg before we start heading up the helix. And we're going to do one crossover here, or one turnout I should say, it's not a crossover, to get to the entrance track of the helix. And like I said, the only problem I had was at the beginning of this video. We're up to speed 20 now. At the exiting the yard with those terrible turnouts that they're terrible to me. They may work for someone else, but they did not work for me. Only because I had to do a lot of work to make them work with my Code 55 track. Nobody made a transition type rail joiner except for Micro Engineering, and theirs was plastic, and every time you go to put it on, it breaks. So I had to do a lot of grinding with my Dremel tool and so on and so forth. Alright, as you can see, we're going up the helix now, still at a pretty steady pace. I think I jacked the speed up 3 more numbers just to keep it going. I really didn't have to do that. And also, I am not going to stop the camera to change positions. I am going to pick up the camera off the tripod and move it over to the next position so we can get the top of the helix. I wish I had 5 more cars. There you go, look at that, I changed it to 23. And that's the last change I'll make, except for reducing the speed later on. Again, those are 3 Kato locomotives, all equipped with Digitrax decoders. And it's a nice smooth, I wish I had, like I was going to start to say, I wish I had 5 more of those cars so the engine would be over the last car. This helix, I've mentioned this several times before, is 6.5 loops. It's got a 20.5 inch radius, and it is a 2% grade. Well, close to 2%. It might be just a little over, but all the track in there is all soldered together. There's, I believe, 75 feet of track in the helix. That makes almost just over 2 miles, 2 scale miles of track. Now here's, I think I'm going to start picking up the camera and tripod all as one unit. No, not yet, not yet. Don't get anxious there, Vinny. You guys that build helix or are planning on building a helix for your layout, just make sure you do all the track work as best you can, because nobody wants a problem inside a helix. And I gotta say, knocking on wood, that so far this helix has run flawless for me. No matter what chain I run up or down, it runs just great. But as you can see, I did pick up the camera along with the tripod and just got it braced up against the backdrop so I can get the top part of this helix. I have quite a few people who really like the way I did the top of my helix, and I do too. It looks really cool with the train running through there. It's a good place for doing photos and stuff like that. And I'm trying to get as high as I can so you can see the train coming around the top part there, but unfortunately I just can't get up high enough. But anyhow, you can see the train as it's coming around over there on the left side. And we're going to go through a little S-curve right here, which I think is another great spot for rail fanning. Again, I am biased, it is my layout. And we're going across the Agua Fria bridge right now. And soon we're going to have a camera position change. Alright, now I'm standing on the inside of the layout. And we watch the train as it comes out of the Agua Fria bridge and goes behind Sierra Adobe Ethanol, which will be my next project that I'll be working on to get that all sorted out. And we have a dead car upside down there. Alright, so here we are now. We're going to be entering, I call this area Castle Hot Springs, and it is the town of Morristown, Arizona. And those are the Morristown flyover bridges. Those have to be redone and jacked up a little bit because in my intermodal train, one of my high containers does hit that bridge. So we need to do some repairs on that. While we're in the town of Morristown, we're going to be crossing over another bridge, and that bridge spans over the Hassayampa River. Again, all this is really compressed. This part of the layout should be like 10 more miles to the north. But again, just not enough room to do it all. As we exit Morristown, we enter into the town of Wickenburg, which has been my project for the past couple of months to renovate the entire area of Wickenburg. And so far it's coming along pretty good. I just need to paint up all the buildings and get that all taken care of. But as you can see, the streets are in. The car parked on the siding. And we're still maintaining a pretty good speed. I have not changed the throttle speed since the last one. And another camera change coming up right now. Alright, now we're back in train room number 1, and this, right where those locomotives are right now, starts another 2% grade. We need to get up to the next level, and there is no helix involved in this one. This is just a straight grade all the way up to Summit. And this is Little Hell Canyon, Hell, not Hells. I redid the towers on that bridge. The top section of the bridge are microengineering. I also built the car bridge in front of it. I did a video on that a long time ago. That's probably about 3 years ago. But this whole scene right here still needs to be completed. I need more scenery. I got to paint that and cover that with some ground cover right there. All right. Coming up on, still climbing that 2% grade. Right here, in order for me to reach the rest of the height I need to go, this elevation changes up another 0.5%. So right here, for the last 8 or 10 feet, we have a 2.5% grade. Again, it's so funny that everything works perfectly. We did drop the speed down to 21. Everything works so perfectly when you're by yourself, but as soon as somebody comes over, nope, it's not going to work. You can get a glimpse. This is, by the way, this is Drake Cement Plant, which is another project I still need to work on. As you can see, there's way a lot more work to do. Alright, we finally reach Summit and we go across Hell Canyon Bridge. Now that span of the bridge is 36 inches of 1/2 inch plywood with balsa wood sides to make it look like a steel girder bridge, and I think it worked out pretty good actually. So now we're running around the backside and we'll be entering the town of Ash Fork. Now, Ash Fork for me is the end of my line, but I am thinking of doing an expansion. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do it or not, because I'm going to have a duck under, and I really didn't want to have a duck under, but it will give me another yard at the end, and I would say that that would be the town of Williams, where the Transcon meets up with the P-Line sub. Alright, so now we're entering one of the tracks at Ash Fork. And this is about a 9-foot section right here. So the entire train does not fit on this track. But anyhow, the expansion would take place to continue the track that is on now, out of train room and back into train room number 2, and follow that around back to the wall. Which,
hey, wait a minute, guys. We're not done yet. You remember in part 2, we left a bunch of cars on the siding that need to get put into the industries. So guess what we're going to do next? We're going to finish up that operation. So here we go.
If you remember in video number 2, we did leave a bunch of cars on the siding, so now we need to put those cars away. Our power for today is going to be two SD40-2s. Number 6951 and number 5073. Wow, I had that turn out in the wrong position and the train made it over. Wow. But I do have problems with these two locomotives on the next turnout that it goes across. For some reason or another, it keeps throwing the trucks off. Anyhow, we've been ordered by dispatch to get this train off of this main line. So that was going to be our first task for us to do, is to pull the train all the way to the back end of this, pull the locomotives all the way to the back end of this train and move it over on the track that we are on, where the locomotives are on right now. That track is called the siding for North Phoenix / Glendale. I think I have a wheel gauge problem on number 6951, because that's the one that keeps jumping off the track in that one area. Again, I just 050'd the box cars there because I do not connect on curves, and that's one thing that I'm disappointed about with these couplers is that I cannot couple up on a curve. So I will be using a little 050 here, I believe, to get these guys hooked up. Alright, with our cars in tow, we're just going to take them and move them over to the track to the right, and then we will start distributing the cars. Now I could continue on the track that I'm going on right now and I would turn the entire train around, but I thought it would be more interesting to do it this way. So we just switched to turnout and we're going to back this train up into that siding for the industries as complying to dispatcher's orders. Alright, once we get our cars here, and this is funny, this part right here, I couldn't get it uncoupled. Guys, I'm not good at uncoupling, especially on a curve. So I finally got annoyed enough where I just used 050 power and uncoupled the car. There you go. Oops. Thank you. Anyhow, now we're going to take the locomotives and we're going to do a runaround. Get to the front side of the train and start distributing the cars. No car cards, no rhyme or reason of what I am going to be doing. I just wanted to take these boxcars and spot them in different industries. When I do a real session, that would be a different story. The cars will be numbered and what order they need to go into each industry, and what road name would go into each industry. And there'll be another camera angle change here. And now we're going to cross over, get to the front of this train, and we're going to start distributing these cars to various industries that are there. If you remember in part number 2, we already delivered the hoppers to SFP Plastics, and so now this would actually be a continuation of that particular operation. And here the engineer forgot to hit his reverser. Oops, let's go the other way, Vinny. Alright. And like I said, there's no specific spot that each one of these cars is going to go to, just whatever. So now I had to move the camera and myself to the inside of the layout to perform the rest of the operation here. And that turnout right there is the one that's been giving me a problem. Keeps knocking the wheels, the back wheels of 6951. And it doesn't happen every single time either, so I don't know if it's actually a gauge problem or something. But it's good that I see all these little things that go wrong, so at least I know where the problems might be and try to repair or fix them or whatever. Alright, the first place we're going to deliver to is going to be Sun Electronics. And like I mentioned in the last video, all of these buildings, all of these industries are real places. I just don't remember the streets that they're on. Now again, I'm reaching across 3 feet of table to uncouple these cars. Alright, now we're going to move over one track and we're going to deliver to LexJet Industries, or manufacturing. Again, I could have taken the entire string of cars and just went ahead and distributed them, but I thought it would be a lot more fun to do it in 2 different operations, just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, authenticity. Now sometimes I can get this thing to uncouple just like that, and sometimes I just have a problem with it. See, now I did cut out the part where it just jumps the track, and I should have left it in just to see which truck was actually giving me the problem. If you look close, you'll see right there that the rear truck of the front locomotive and the rear truck of the second locomotive both came off the track. Alright, so now we're going to head down the track and we're going to pick up the last 3 cars and finish our operation for the day. Alright, so now we're entering back into the industrial park, and we're going to distribute these last 3 cars, and then our locomotives are going to go home and tie down, and everybody's going to be happy and go to sleep and all that kind of good stuff. Now, that is the turnout that's giving me the problems, and I need to really see what's going on with that guy. If it's a turnout or if it is my locomotive itself. The rolling stock has no problem getting across those. Alright, so the next one I'm going to deliver, I believe, is going to be Big D's Flooring Supply, and that is a real place. I did have to call the girl up, and she did send me a business card. I wish I had displayed there somewhere. Alright, and we're good right there. Let's get the conductor out there to uncouple these cars. Wake up, conductor. Oh, there you go. Alright. Again, trying to see across 3 feet is kind of tough. Alright. So now our last delivery is going to be to Modular Systems. And once that is done, the engines could head back to the area to park and tie it down and go home, and our job will be done for the day. Now, this is crazy because I just went across that turnout and it worked fine. And then all of a sudden, like I said, this layout has a mind of its own. It just wants to play with my head. And we're going to hold it right there. And again, we're going to uncouple. This is a fun place to do switching, but it's also one of the hardest because you really can't see the couplers. From the other side, from the outside, the second level is right over that. So again, it's kind of hard to do this area. Alright, with our cars delivered, our locomotives are going to head home and we'll tie down, and that'll be it for this video. So, with that being said, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 and the Cuz out for now.